You're listening to the OMG Hour.
Welcome, everybody, to episode number 281 today of the OMG Hour, obviously. It is January 11th, 2018. Of course, I'm Sean Evans, otherwise known as Zion Tane.
And I'm Tycko.
No, you're
Xbox,
not.
Xbox.
No, you're not.
Xbox.
No.
I'm Jeff. Hey, everybody.
Hey, Jeff, you're here.
I'm here.
How was your
I'm
holidays?
back.
You are back. You were not here last week. Tycko
I
was
not
here.
here last week.
Tycko is currently at Disney World.
Yes, he is.
How was your holidays?
They were good. They were busy. Very busy. Doing the whole driving around, visiting all the family. Christmas vacation, I always find to be just a
Busy time?
It's almost like after Christmas vacation is over, you need to take another vacation.
Yeah, seriously.
Which is exactly what I did. So that whole Christmas week was just madness. And then I had the week after, like the first week, last week basically, all on vacation too. And that was pretty nice. I just got to hang out and play with the kids and do all that kind of fun stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, Christmas-wise, did you get anything gaming related? Anything new come into your life?
No.
Wow. Really?
Divorced. Who's going to buy it for me?
I hear.
Right?
Well, you still got your kids, right?
The oldest one's 10. He's got no money.
This is true.
So
this is true. That's all right. That's all right.
So no gaming stuff. I don't think I got any new gaming stuff at all. I played Destiny hardcore over that Christmas vacation. I'm at what is the max light level?
230 or
235, I think, and I'm sitting at 230 right now.
And level wise, you're now level. What is it now?
I don't know, whatever the max level is.
I don't even remember.
That didn't take too long to get. I was really disappointed with the Dawning event, by the way. I know the entire internet was, and
yeah, that's what I heard. I didn't play it at all.
Yeah, I know it was super lame.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
Yeah.
It was all right. It was, as far as vacations go, there was some really good stuff. I don't know if I've mentioned this on the show before, but I'm dating someone, and we went to a really fancy New Year's Eve gala on New Year's Eve. So we dressed up. We dressed up. I was wearing suit and tie. She was wearing a really nice dress, and we just had like a great time. That was like the highlight, I would say, of my Christmas vacation. So there was like good points like that. So.
Excellent. Good stuff. Well, welcome back. Glad you could join me tonight. Otherwise, I'd be by myself, and that would be pretty darn boring.
It's Major Nelson used to do his podcast all by himself for years.
And I don't know how he would do it. I couldn't do it.
I often think about doing the show all by myself without you. No, wait, never mind.
No, there wouldn't be a show without me. Because
I could do a show. I got softwares.
Yeah, you could do a show. You just wouldn't be this one.
It wouldn't be this one. I wouldn't do a show.
Sid Bolton is watching us right now. Welcome, Sid.
Oh, hey,
and, of
Sid.
course, Juggler of Geese, Brian, is watching us. He watches us every week. I appreciate that. Sid said he would have joined me if you weren't available.
Oh, there you go.
Or maybe he will join you when you do yours. I don't know what he's talking about. But anyway. So, Tycko is, of course, in Disney World right now. And last week, I told him that we would call him live on the show while he's at Disney World. And true to my word, we're going to try to call him right now.
Okay.
And see if he answers. I believe he's in the Magic Kingdom tonight.
We can check his Facebook because he's been posting on Facebook like a crazy man.
Yeah. So now I'm gonna try to dial him in.
While Sean's dialing,
can I add? How do I add him to the call?
I have no idea.
Oh, here we go. Invite to group call. There we go.
I should point out that this could be
very interesting.
We could get him murdered by his wife.
Well, yes. What? Anyway, let's see if he answers.
in Florida. Why do I look like a screen now? Oh, okay.
Yeah. You.
Okay. Yeah. No, I know.
You're the Skype window, basically. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, he's not answering by the looks of it. So all we have is his image.
We can pretend to be Tycko. I like the Xbox because it's got more X's. I like to push buttons for 5 minutes and then never play this game again.
Oh, snap.
I like Xbox. You know what's funny is Xbox is actually one thing we're really not talking about this week. Should we give them a little teaser about what we're going to talk about?
Yeah, for sure. So, you want to say
Go for it.
Okay, no. So every year
go.
we like to do our looking forward shows, and we figured we would wait until all of us were together to do it. But what we decided to do tonight is because Tycko plays less Switch than we do, and he doesn't play any VR. We figured, well, why don't you and I just together, we'll talk about Switch and VR and what's coming up in the new year and maybe what we're looking forward to and what we're hoping for.
Yeah.
You know, we're not going to try to make any predictions because I think that's kind of dumb, but we'll say what we hope will happen this year, or at least what we hope we'll hear about this year. So, yeah, we're going to be talking about VR and Switch stuff in 2018. But let's give Tycko some time. Why don't we talk about some games for now? What have you been playing? Weird
one for me. Okay, actually, first I'll talk about Splatoon because I don't have any video for it, so it's going to be super boring. I started playing Splatoon 2. That game is so annoying, it's not even funny. It's got all the same annoyances as Splatoon 1. It's for the Switch, obviously. So every time you start it up, you have to watch a video where they tell you what maps are in rotation. And it takes,
really?
like, I don't know, like 2 minutes. It's so annoying. I hate that. I don't know why they do that. And it's just like weird stuff like that. Like, they can't just make a normal game. They have to try and make it worse. But other than that, the game's pretty good. It runs really well on the Switch. It's the same sort of game before as it was before. So, if you could just turn off that darn video. Oh. Did we get a Tycko?
I think we got Tycko. Tycko, you have no video.
You have audio?
We've got audio.
Hang on.
Oh, I hear him.
I can't hear you guys at all.
Uh-oh. He can't hear us.
He's probably in a restaurant or something.
It sounds like he's in a restaurant.
All right. Well, I'm still at the restaurant, guys. You said like 7 o'clock start.
Okay, well, you know what? That's fine. We can continue to... Why don't you call us back when you're in the kingdom? How's that sound?
Done. I will call you back when I hit the kingdom in about half an hour.
Perfect. That's great. We'll keep going until then. Okay, man. Bye, Leah.
Talk to you guys in a bit.
Okay. Awesome. So we're going to get Tycko live from the Magic Kingdom later in the show.
So...
Splatoon 2.
Splatoon 2. That's all I have to say about Splatoon 2. It is a good, not great game. I bought it for Oliver for Christmas, and then I played it so that I could get a sense of, did they make it any better? It's essentially the exact same game as Splatoon 1. There's new guns, there's new characters, but like it's so just the same game. I felt bad spending $80 on it, like I do for most Nintendo-made games. But we're going to talk about that more later. So the other weird game that I started playing was Elder Scrolls Online.
Yes, you did start playing that game.
Yes. So I don't remember how I got into this. I was thinking that, so I've got a new girlfriend, right? And we've been seeing each other for a little while now. And she's played WoW before, but I hate WoW. And she's not a real gamer. She's just played WoW. Like it's like some sort of really weird.
Gamer.
She's not a real gamer. No, one day she just said, "Oh, I'd like to play WoW," and she just played WoW for a little while, and then she stopped. And she never played anything before, and she's never played anything since, except for Mario Kart. She's really good for Mario Kart, and she's really good at Scrabble. She beats me every time.
Didn't you tell me that she beat you at Mario Kart?
Yes, she did actually beat me at Mario Kart.
Well, okay.
Once.
So she's a better gamer than you, then, is what you're saying.
Well, no, I've crushed her every time since. But anyway, she's quite good at Mario Kart. Anyway, so I installed this, thinking that, oh, you know what, maybe I'll show her this, because this is like WoW, but it's not WoW, because I don't like WoW. And then I never got around to showing it to her, and I actually started playing with Oliver. He was like, oh, what are you installing? And I'm like, oh, I'm installing this game called Elder Scrolls Online. Oh, he's like, oh, like Elder Scrolls Skyrim? I'm like, yeah. He's like, can I try? I'm like, sure, you can try. So I started playing with him, and then I started playing by myself, and now I've been playing this like almost every day, just like,
Wow. I still
You know?
got this too.
yeah. Well, a lot of people have this, and they never played it. And what's interesting though is playing with Oliver is fine, but I'm actually much more enjoying playing by myself, which is
Really?
really strange.
Well,
Yeah.
I did at first as well, and then it got to a point where I felt like it was getting too difficult to solo. You know?
Right, and I remember that. I
Yeah.
remember that same thing. I remember we had that conversation on this show, 40 years ago when the game came out. But one of the interesting things is that as the years have rolled on, they have patched this game like crazy. They've updated like the whole combat system. They've made crazy updates. There's all like difficulty scaling now. Like you can just go wherever you want, just like in Skyrim or Oblivion or the other Elder Scrolls games for that matter, where you can just go anywhere and you can do anything and you can come across dungeons and you can do them and blah 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 blah. So I have not had any crazy difficulty spikes. There is still tons of people playing on the PS4.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's good.
Tons of people. I could not believe how many people were still playing this game when I logged in. Like I go to do this public event thing. I think this is still like the little starter island. But when you get to the second area, I go to do one of the public events, which if you recall, these big chains drop down from the sky.
Yes.
Stuff. Yeah. And there had to be like 20 people there.
Wow.
I was like, there was not this many people here.
No.
When I first started playing the game,
No, there
you
wasn't.
used to do them by yourself.
Yeah,
and
I remember
they were
that.
really hard. Now the public event starts and ends in like 2 minutes. It goes by so fast because there's so
Wow.
many people there. It's crazy.
So I need
Now,
to get
again-
back into it then. I've recently reinstalled it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
You saw me playing it? You're like,
No, I actually
Maybe
installed
I'll-
it before I knew you were playing. I installed it like
Oh,
a
yeah,
month
eh?
ago, right? I just haven't opened it up since, but I have the Morrowind expansion for it as well.
Oh, do you? See, I
Yeah.
haven't invested in the Morrowind expansion yet. So I will say, if you are interested in playing it, for the next 4 days, you can get a free like ESO premium account, which gives you more XP and more vault space and blah, 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 blah. So I haven't
Free
actually...
forever?
No, it's just free for the next 4 days.
No, like once you have it, you have it forever.
No. It's only active.
Oh, I gotcha.
That's their subscription equivalent. So a lot of games have that on PC, like Black Desert Online, which I was playing, or Arcade, or all these other games that I play. You can play, but then you can also pay the subscription, and you get a bunch of bonuses, which are good if you're playing the game a lot. So we'll see.
True.
Anyway, I've been really enjoying it, and I'm gonna keep trucking away in this one.
Well, it's funny you've been playing a game that we played a while ago, and interestingly enough, you said there's still lots of people playing this.
There is.
I just started playing a game that you and I actually loved well over a year ago, and I think it was like almost 2 years ago now, wasn't it? I don't know. But unlike Elder Scrolls, I've been playing The Division, which has nobody online that I know. Because you know how you used to always look at the map and you could see where other players were?
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
You could see your friends around the map. There's like, my map is empty of friends. There's nobody playing this game. But I just recently, it was on sale during Christmas, and it was like really cheap. I believe the base game was
$20.
$21, yeah. And then the gold edition, which includes all DLC plus some extra stuff, was $40
From 120.
from 120.
Yeah.
So it was 1/3 the price.
Yeah.
Which I thought was fantastic. And you and I had discussed this before Christmas about looking to see maybe getting back into The Division. And I texted you that one day and I said, "Hey, The Division is only $20." You said, "Yep, it's already in my it's in my my basket."
In my cart.
Yeah. And so I pulled the trigger, no pun intended, on this game. I ended up picking up the gold edition for, I think it was $39.99 or something like that. And you did not.
I did not, because I was playing Elder Scrolls.
Right.
And I was really enjoying Elder Scrolls, and I didn't want to get into 2 games at once. And, it's after Christmas. I'm a single dad now. Money was tight. I'm like, yeah, okay, it's only $20, but Am I going to really get into it? I'm like, no, you know what? I think I'd rather play Elder Scrolls because I'm really enjoying it. I never played Elder Scrolls a lot, so I'm going to play that instead.
So I had the same thought. I thought I was going to wait to see if you were going to get it. And then at home one night, I was thinking to myself, you know what? I had a ton of fun with this game even before we grouped up with it. Like during the alpha and the beta. I played this game a ton by myself and loved it. So I thought, you know what? I do still love this game. So I just went ahead and did it. And I've been playing it solo. And I've been doing the actual missions that normally require a group. I've been soloing them. Because what's funny is now I've played them like several times, some of these missions. I know that if I just stay back a certain way, I can just pick the guys off with my sniper rifle, my marksman rifle, before they even get anywhere near me, right? And so I've got the experience playing the whole game. I'm finding that even the missions that require a group, or typically require a group, I've been soloing.
Yeah. Eh?
Right? So I've been having a good time.
Are you using the same loadout from your first playthrough?
Well, my first playthrough was on Xbox.
Yeah, no, I know, but are you using like the same, like you're using a marksman rifle and a sniper rifle?
I'm using a marksman, which is your sniper, and I'm using an assault rifle for up close.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, which is basically what I did before, right? Because in this game, I love the marksman rifle. You know, with the 12 times scope, it's incredible. And once you get a powerful scope, you can just headshot guys, boom, boom. Like, you know, I was doing like 4 headshots in a row when I was originally playing this game. I loved playing it. So yeah, I've been having a lot of fun playing The Division again, even though it's like what, almost 2 years old now. This game.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great game. It's just when it was over, it was kind of over.
It was over. Yeah.
That was the only thing. The end game activities were not enjoyable to me. I mean, they were way too PvP focused, and I didn't enjoy them at all. But I do have a challenge for you, Sean.
Okay.
For next week, I want you to play through one of the Division missions here with nothing more than a shotgun and a submachine gun.
No. Why?
Yes.
Why?
Because we're mixing it up.
Why would you want me to do that?
Completely anti-Sean build. No range.
You want me to do a Tycko build? Just run one mission. Oh my gosh.
One. Submachine gun, shotgun, nothing else. Well, you can use your pistol, I guess, if you get excited. Do it.
Shotgun?
Do it. I'm going to stop getting my head up.
So basically the two weapons that I despise. You want me to play this? What, like a...
One mission.
One, like, story mission? Are you...
One story mission,
Oh my gosh. A story mission. Oh.
Submachine gun, shotgun. Come on, man. You can do it.
We'll see. I'll try. I will.
The listeners, YouTube, tell Sean that he has to do it. They'll listen to you. You won't listen to me.
Yeah, exactly. Usually I won't, but I'll try it, and I will grab that footage of me dying horribly, because I don't run and gun like Tycko. I sit back and I wait, and I carefully... I carefully pick my targets. Yeah,
the funny thing about this game is that you really do need a distance weapon a lot of the time.
Yes. Otherwise you get swarmed.
But you're gonna do it without it.
Okay. I guess.
One mission.
All right. So just before we call Tycko, I am very, very happy to announce that Sid Bolton has returned. And we are going to have, on a more regular basis, Lost Treasures once again. So starting right now, we have a Lost Treasure for the second show of 2018. So we'll play that, and then we'll try to call Tycko again.
No, Tycko's going to call us. And
that's
not
right,
for
he
another,
is.
not
Like
for
3
another
minutes.
20 minutes.
No, he said 7 o'clock, so we'll see. Anyway.
No, he didn't. He said a half hour at 6:45. It's gonna be 7:15.
Whatevs. All right. Anyway, Lost Treasures. Here we go.
Lost Treasures with your gaming archaeologist, Sid Bolton.
Hold, stranger! Sometimes when we think back to a game from yesteryear, it felt more amazing back then than it does today. Such is the case of Sword of Sodan, a 1989 game for the Amiga and later ported to the Sega Genesis, Apple II GS, and even Macintosh. Sword of Sodan featured huge on-screen characters, like nothing we had seen before. It featured digitized speech in-game, which wasn't new, but seemed more abundant in this 4-disc game. The music was quite amazing, being scored by Julian LaFay, who is most notable for starting the Elder Scrolls franchise while at Bethesda, and it is still something that I listen to today. This is definitely a case where the gameplay is outdone by the overall technical marvel of the game. I remember loading it up just to watch the opening graphics, see the magical sparkles on the credits, and even feel amazed by the high scoreboard that had special, magical creatures dropping letters in one by one. I remember the game being hard, very hard, but when I play it today I find it much easier. I'll chalk that up to being a better gamer. This game was considered a success back in the day, selling over 50,000 copies on the Amiga, and although we don't know exactly how many sold on the watered-down Genesis version, it was likely quite a few more. A sequel was planned, but never released, and its existence today is barely a footnote in gaming history, as today there exists only a single screenshot in a magazine. Sword of Sodan definitely wins the award for a franchise that had great potential, but never lived up to it. If you've never tried it, it's worth trying out for its technical marvel back in the day. I can still hear the music in my head. Until next time, I'm Sid Bolton, your gaming archaeologist, digging up the lost treasures for you, right here on OMG Nexus and the OMG Hour.
Well, there it is, our first Lost Treasures of 2018. Sid is back. Welcome back, Sid. Glad to have you. And we'll be hearing more of him. We might even be getting our Lost Treasures of Gaming podcast back up and running, too. So,
Really?
lots of stuff in store for 2018. All right. We have one piece of news I want to talk about before we get into our VR and Switch discussion. And I thought this was cool because I like when media goes sort of meta, like when television, when games do something like this. So in Dragon Age 2, we meet a dwarf named Varric, who is a storyteller. Mm-hmm. And he's actually an author in the game. He has written a book. Well, that book that he has written is now a real book. Which is like, okay, this is cool. I like when media does stuff like this. Like, I used to watch the show Castle with Nathan Fillion. And Castle is a writer. Well, the books that they talk about on the show became real books. Written by Frank Castle. You know, just like in the TV show.
I have, in one of those episodes, they talk about how they had a comic book adaptation of one of his books.
Oh, yes?
I have that comic book.
Oh, really? For Castle?
Yeah.
So you enjoyed Castle too then? I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, I watched Castle. Yeah.
My daughter Aria loves Castle. She's got all 8 seasons on DVD. But yeah, so Hard Time in... What's it called? I can't see my graphic. Hard in Hightown is the name of the book, and that is a book that was actually mentioned several times in Dragon Age 2. You know, so it's now a real book. For those of us who enjoyed Dragon Age, we can go read Varric's real book.
Supposed to be like a saucy romance, though, isn't?
Well, Hard in Hightown.
In Hightown, yeah.
I don't know. There's a quote on the book from Meryl, which is actually another character in the game, so that's kind of funny. You know, I like when media does stuff like this. You know, you take stuff from a game and you actually make it real. It's just so cool. I like that.
It's coming July 31st, so we still got a ways to go in hardcover. I'll wait for the ebook.
Hard in Hightown is in hardcover. That makes sense. Okay. All right. Anyway. I guess Tycko is not ready to call us yet. That's cool. So let's move on to VR talk. And I think I've got a problem with one of my websites. Maybe not. Okay, I'm going to share, just like I did last week, I'm going to share what I'm seeing here. And but first of all, Sony apparently is expecting 130 more PSVR titles this year. There's 150 available now. And they're saying in 2018 we're going to be getting 130 more. That's almost double what came out in the first year. Mm-hmm. I guess, it's just been over a year, right? So yeah, that's pretty incredible.
Well, is it though?
Well, see, that's the thing though. 150 VR titles out there now, but I'm going to be honest. I don't think I could name like 50 out of 150. Like a lot of them are small. A lot of them are VR add-ons to other games. You know, so it's hard to say what are these 130 titles.
We don't need 130. We don't need 100. We don't need 80. We don't need 90, 70, 60. We need one or two really, really good ones.
We do.
That's all we need. You know, we need somebody to invest. You know, we need that $70 million, $80 million, $100 million game that's gonna make like I'm. You know me. I don't have a lot of love for the indies. It takes a very, very special indie game for me to like it. I've enjoyed a lot of the PlayStation VR stuff that I've played in my library, like the Job Simulator and Eve Valkyrie and Eagle Flight and Star Trek, and like they're all
they're all good.
They're all good experiences. They're all little good, tiny little games, but I need something more meaningful, and I'm sorry to Bethesda, but it's not going to be freaking Skyrim.
No.
Because I've played it. I almost bought Skyrim on the Switch. I was like, why would I do that? Like, how many times do I need to play freaking Skyrim? And I'm just still waiting for those big, new VR games to come out. And I think a lot of what's holding them back is the first thing that I want to see changed in 2018, which is we need new Move controllers. And I know I'm not the first person to say it. I'm not going to be the last person to say it. And everybody listening to this podcast already knows it. But I think that we are seriously hampered by our Move controllers.
We absolutely are. We've said it many times. We need Move controllers that have actual thumbsticks on them.
Yeah.
You know, that are not... that don't put, like, even for the buttons on them, you know, if you're going to give me face buttons, put them in a triangle shape, not in a square pattern where I don't know which button is which. You know, I can press any button on a standard controller without looking at it. I know where the buttons are. I think any gamer could say that. Whether it's Xbox, whether it's Nintendo or PlayStation, we know where the buttons are without looking. I don't know which button is which on the Move controller because they put them in a square pattern instead of a diamond pattern. So I don't know which way they've rotated it by default. So I want a Move controller that has face buttons in a diamond pattern and an actual thumbstick.
Yeah.
You know, or something like, even if they were to do a controller similar to what they've done for HTC Vive, you know, that's a pretty brilliant and very comfortable controller. You know, it has a thumbstick. It's got a thumb pad, which also acts as buttons. Like, it's got 4 buttons on it, basically. And it's got a trigger button on the front, and it feels very comfortable. You're holding it as if you're holding, like, a gun trigger, a gun handle or something. It's very, very comfortable, you know? So, PSVR, and of course, when we talk VR, you all know that's pretty much the only thing we have. So we're not talking Vive or Oculus here. We're talking PSVR.
We could talk Vive for a second because they just announced like a Vive 2 Super Vive.
Oh,
and
yeah?
I'm like, oh man, that Vive was like $3,000 or something in Canada. I don't remember what it was. It wasn't $3,000. And they've already, and they've all, whatever it was, they've already announced the next version of it. That's another thing I do not want from Sony. Do not release a better PSVR this year.
No.
Or that could be the last early adopter thing that I ever do in my life.
Right? Yeah. I mean, they already came out with sort of the upgraded hardware, which just tweaks a few things, so there's no reason to get it. You know, it's just it's nicer for those who are just getting into it now. But it's not a reason for us to go and buy it in any way. But we need I'm sorry, but I do not want to see point and click movement in VR.
No.
That's not the way to make movement. If you have to resort to point and click movement, then your game shouldn't be in VR. Period.
Well, you know, there's a lot of... See, this is funny to me because I agree with you, but, you know, there's a lot of people that's saying, like, oh, people can't use thumbsticks in VR because it makes them motion sick. And maybe that's true, and maybe there are people that are going to need to have that kind of thing. But I'll tell you, I'd say the best VR controller available in the market today is the AIM controller. And I had no motion sickness ever using that thing.
None.
Not.
And
at
we were literally playing a first-person shooter.
Yeah.
Moving fluidly as if we were playing like Doom.
Yeah.
So it can absolutely be done. I always found, I think it was Robinson, where you had the opportunity to have the sort of like the quarter
Click
turn.
move. Yeah, click move. Yeah.
Yeah, it was click move, but it was like even for turning, it was sort of 30-degree turns.
Yeah, that's what it's called. It's called click move.
Oh, click move. Yeah.
You're clicking
Yeah.
into different.
I
angles.
find that more disconcerting.
I actually played. What was that game called? Robinson. I played that game with the click moving, because when I first tried to play it, I turned it on free motion, and it did cause me motion sickness. So then I played almost the whole game with the click move, and then I went and played it again with free motion, and then I was okay. I think the big thing, if you're playing VR and you don't want to have motion sickness when you've got free analog movement, is don't put your thumbstick in one direction and then your head in the other.
Oh.
Anytime you use the right thumbstick, look straight ahead, get your bearings with that way, treat it like a first-person shooter, and then let go of the thumbstick, do whatever you have to do, and then you can look around.
Yeah.
But don't try to look around while you're using the right thumbstick, because that will cause motion sickness.
That's one thing that I'm surprised VR hasn't done for movement, is look to move. So just press a button to move, but you look where you want to go. Right? Then you don't need a thumbstick per se.
I bet you somebody's tried that, and it didn't work out as well as you thought it would. Because
but it
that
makes
was the
sense,
first thing I
doesn't
thought
it?
too.
Yeah. Wouldn't that make sense?
Then you can't look around while you're walking.
No, not while you're walking. You'd have to stop to look around. Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
Right? But
I think there is some games that do that. I think Skyrim has a mode like that.
Really?
Actually, Skyrim, I think so. I don't know. I do want to play Skyrim VR, but it's got to come down in price, because there ain't no way Bethesda's getting 90 more of my dollars.
Well, it went on sale, but it still wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough.
No.
It was still too new. Skyrim is a game where they're going to put that sucker on sale. Bethesda's always good at that. So.
Okay. Oh, yeah, never. I was gonna ripe about it. I just still can't believe they're charging full price for it. It's ridiculous. Even Doom VR isn't full price, and that's a newer game.
It's short though. Apparently,
it's still. I don't care. Whatever. It's just. Yeah. Brian says because Skyrim. Yeah, exactly.
Because Skyrim. Yeah.
What else are you hoping for in PSVR before we talk about games itself?
Well, I mean, I think kind of what I was saying earlier is just that I want those. I just need one or two really good games.
Yeah.
I will pay $90 for a brand new game if it is as good as, or almost as good as any of my other retail games. Like, and maybe I'm getting too old. Maybe I just don't spend enough money on games anymore, because I really don't spend a lot of money on games as much as I used to. But a game has to be really good if I'm going to drop my own money on it. Oh, yeah. I'm past the point now where I'm gonna spend money because I'm curious about some VR experience. Now you've got to have solid 99.5 on Metacritic. No, that's not true.
A near perfect game.
Yeah. I think that's it for me. I just really hope that, I know that they've got a lot of new games coming out. I'm just really hoping that Sony themselves are going to invest the money, because what was this last point here? 2 million PSVRs have been sold to date, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So the market's growing. It's getting bigger. So we can start soon, hopefully, supporting some of those bigger games, right?
Yeah. And what's neat is what I like is Ubisoft typically with their multiplayer VR offerings is it's multi-platform as well, right? Mm-hmm. You can play Star Trek Bridge Crew with anyone who's playing Star Trek Bridge Crew.
Yeah.
Not just PSVR players, right? Same with Eagle Flight. It's cross-platform.
Yeah.
So you're playing with VR players, period. Which is nice.
I can play with a PC gamer, but I can't play with you. That's Eagle Flight in a nutshell.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's right. what was I going to say? Oh, my hope for future VR titles. I think the best VR titles, PSVR titles, really right now are still games that don't require you as a character to move. I think those are the best experiences in gaming for VR. So either in a cockpit, so you're in a vehicle of some kind, or even ones where in the game you are literally sitting in a chair. You know, like that static game with the hand puzzles, right? Brilliant use of VR, absolutely. And that's not a game you could do without VR, because the whole point was you are looking around this box, you are manipulating it and physically looking at what happens in the box when you press certain buttons, and it's a puzzle box that you're trying to get out of and you just can't see your hands inside the box. So that is a game that could not have been done without VR. It's brilliant, you know, and it's a lot of fun. I was probably playing that game for 2 hours straight, not even knowing how long I was in there. That's how good it is and how enthralling that game is. You know, I think I paid
super fun, yeah,
$10 or $15 for it. It went on sale, and I was like, yes, I will buy it now, and it's great. It's absolutely fantastic. You know, even early on, they had that Tumble VR where you had to put blocks.
What was that?
You had to you had to build blocks
Jenga.
up to a certain point. But it was just pick up the blocks, spin them, place them on the table, you know, make sure they're not going to tumble, you know, and see if they balance.
It was fun, but that's exactly the type of game that I'm not spending money on.
No, and that's a game that gets old fast.
Yeah.
Right?
That's definitely an experiment type game.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah. All right, so game-wise, let's look at Push Square. I'm going to share what we're looking at here for those of you on the YouTube.
Then I'll be lazy and not open it.
Yeah. I just have to remember to click on the browser, not on XSplit here. Okay, the 11 best games coming up in PSVR. So, The Inpatient. This is not for you, Jeff. This is for me. This is from the creators of Until Dawn, and it's actually a prequel to Until Dawn. It takes place in the sanitarium, whatever they call it. That is one of the buildings in Until Dawn, and you are a patient trying to figure out, basically what's happened to you. But it all takes place, from my understanding from the trailers, again, I don't know a whole lot other than what I've seen, the videos I've seen, is you are in a wheelchair. So you don't have to move around. There's going to be dialogue choices, you know, but it's all done in VR as if you are physically there in the room, but you're being wheeled around and spoken to by doctors, by nurses, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And there's going to be dialogue choices that affect the story. It looks great. I mean, to me, this is like, okay, this is a good use of VR because, like I just said, this doesn't require you to move around the environment. You, as a player, are actually in a chair. So it makes sense for this to be in VR.
I get it. Makes sense. Cool graphics.
Moss, I don't know much about. It looks like a platformer, though, so I don't get the idea of a platformer in VR. That's something I don't understand.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Exactly. Right. Bravo team. I know you want this one.
I want this one. I want reasons to use my aim controller, for crying out loud. I got one game that can use it.
Right?
Yeah.
And yeah. This one's going to use that one, isn't it?
Yes, it's going to be a pack-in, actually. It's just like whatever the heck the game that came with it was called. You're going to be able to get this and a Move controller in a box together.
Yeah, we just need the game.
And can you move, Dan? I think this is made by Sony Santa Monica or something. No, Supermassive Games.
Supermassive. It's the Until Dawn developers.
Yeah. This could be good.
Yeah, they're making two games right now.
And this is going to be co-op as well, so.
Yes, co-op with PSVR with the aim controller. Gollum was announced a long time ago. Farpoint, by the way, is the game that came with the Move controller.
Yes, that's it.
Long time ago, Gollum was announced. I've had Gollum on my wish list for a while. I still don't. I only put it there because literally it was one of the first VR titles announced, And we're
Sure.
still waiting for it. We still have seen nothing about it. But according to this, it's coming out March 13th.
Lies.
Like, what? I still don't know what this is. Ace Combat. That.
Pass.
What?
Hard pass.
Why?
Hard pass. Because it's an arcade flight sim.
Oh.
I'm going to fire 42 Sidewinders. And then there's going to be a love story because it's a Japanese game. And there's going to be some scantily clad schoolgirl. And like, no. No.
Come on. No. It's
gonna
Ace
be
Combat. But it is Namco Bandai. Bandai Namco.
Namco Bandit, whatever. They're the guys that made Soul Calibur. Look at Soul Calibur. We spent 25% of our budget on the fighting engine and 75% on the jiggly physics. Bouncy, bouncy. Come on.
Not fully playable with PlayStation VR.
Okay, pass. Hard pass.
Oh, okay. That's
Hard pass.
Yeah, seriously.
Why is it even on this list?
What?
Why is it on this list?
Blood and Truth is... do you remember the London Heist from the demo disc?
Yes.
This is sort of a continuation or basically along the same lines as the London Heist, only it's a full-on story. Like,
Deal.
Yeah, seriously. Yes, please. I am looking forward to that. I have no interest in Dreams, the new Media Molecule game.
Okay, so I want to have interest in Dreams, but you just know you're never going to play it. Like, that's going to be
exactly.
You can make anything, but then you're not going to.
Right.
And then you're going to be like, you're going to play it for like an hour, and then you're going to be like, yeah, I made this really cool scene, and I'm done.
Right? Yeah.
Also, I hated Little Big Planet. I thought that was a terrible game.
Game called Star Child. I don't know anything about that. Sprint Vector looks like a multiplayer game. I'm not really into the multiplayer VR stuff, the tournament stuff. It doesn't interest me. You know?
Star Trek Bridge Crew is the only multiplayer that's been truly epic so far. Well, I guess EVE Online was okay, but it was really hard to play with you. When we played that, it was like, where's me? Where's Sean? Are we playing together? We're in the same arena, but are we working together? You know, that wasn't good. I guess when we were playing, what was that game again?
Farpoint?
The aim controller package. Farpoint. That had a co-op mode, but it was kind of weak.
It was. And it wasn't easy either.
No.
I don't want to go through every title. Obviously, there's a like I said, 130 titles coming. There's a game called Transference from Ubisoft. You know, honestly, anything Ubisoft makes in VR, I'm going to try it because it's Ubisoft.
Well,
but
they're going to give it to us anyway. So.
Well, yeah, we'll review it anyway. But you know, I like what it says here. When Frodo Baggins wants to make a PSVR game, you give him all the money you have. So, you know, there's that. So let's see what else. Anything else big? We've talked about Bravo Team, Doom VFR. I don't care. Gran Turismo Sport is out. Megaton Rainfall. I wanted to try. I'll eventually get to it. It looked cool. It was but it's already out. This is already out.
Independence Day.
It's a superhero.
Independence Day, the game.
You're a superhero. You can fly.
Oh.
You can fly around this huge mega city.
Oh,
yeah. We talked about Moss. Abduction is coming from Cyan Entertainment. That's cool.
Never heard of him.
Anything else? Skyrim VR is already out. We talked about The Inpatient.
Blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Is there anything that you've read about yourself that you're interested in that you're looking forward to
Just
for VR?
Bravo Team. That's it. That's like all I really want to try. I want to try something more realistic, more with my aim controller. You give me that. If Bravo Team is actually good, then that's good by me. You know, I did. What the heck was the name of that stupid spider game?
The spider game? Oh, Farpoint.
Farpoint.
Why can't you remember Farpoint? It's the first episode of TNG.
Do me a favor, because I'm looking at you. Write it on your forehead for me.
Yeah. Okay.
So I enjoyed Farpoint, but not a lot. I didn't like the setting. I didn't like the story. I didn't like fighting those bad guys. I didn't think fighting bugs was particularly interesting. I didn't think that the aliens were particularly interesting. Perfect. Hey, look at that. Thank you, Sean. Wow, that's a good friend. Anyway, so give me more Bravo Team. That's all I really want at this point. And if they could make an actual VR racing game, that would be good.
Yes, absolutely. So Transference I'm looking forward to Bravo Team, the Inpatient. I'm actually really excited for the Inpatient because I love Until Dawn. I think it's a great universe, and yeah, that's that's.
You know what else
that's
I could go for? It's like a walking simulator type game, like
that would be
Edith
good.
Finch or Gone Home, or
That would
one
be
of those
good.
types of games where you can just chill out and like explore. And there's probably a game like that out. I don't know, because it seems like an easy like low hanging fruit type deal. But I don't know.
Okay, so anyway, listen, it's 20 after 7 now. I'm going to... Tycko may not have been able to call back in, so I'm going to try to call him again before we start talking about Switch stuff. So give me a second while I add Tycko to the call, and let's see if we can get him in here. Okay. How do I invite to group call? Here we go. All right, Tycko. Answer us this time. And
He's going to be... My wife, she murdered me. I did podcast stuff on family vacation.
There was, of course, we had a... We'll talking about Switch now, but there was a Switch mini direct. Tycko?
Why is that a new phone ringing?
No, that's Leah, not Tycko.
Why is that a new ring?
Just is.
Hi, Tycko. Can you get video?
Hello.
Hello, Tycko. Can we do video?
Off. So the speaker on.
Maybe.
Speaker off.
No.
Who's that?
Hello.
Hello, Tycko.
We are walking here.
How?
We're walking onto the monorail, not to Epcot. We're going to the other one.
We have no video,
We're
Tycko.
going there now.
Tycko, we have no video. Oh, here it is.
There we go.
Hey, Tycko.
I learned how to work my phone for 5 seconds.
Excellent. Excellent.
So we've just arrived. Just
Dad!
arrived at Magic Kingdom. I'm getting on the monorail. It's the podcast. Say hi to the podcast.
Hi, podcast.
Hi, Leah.
Hi, Leah.
There's 3 monorails up there.
Wow.
Man.
She's pretty excited.
So we are getting on the monorail now. I cannot hear you guys at all.
Okay.
So have fun. I will see you guys next week. We'll be back. This kid is very excited. It's like almost 8 o'clock and she's bouncing off the walls. I'll see everybody next week and share lots of pictures.
Okay, sounds good, man.
Right. Bye, guys.
See ya. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, he's still showing. There's the monorail. Okay.
All right. Talk
See
to you
ya.
guys soon.
See ya, Tycko.
Cheers, man.
All right. There we go. Brief look at the monorail at the Magic Kingdom. I have not been there. I don't know if I can just get rid of him.
Get rid of him. He's taking up my space. I'm small now and unimportant.
He'll disappear in just a moment. Be patient. Okay. Switch. What are you hoping or looking forward to in Switch this year?
We lucked out because there was a Nintendo Direct Mini today. So
There was.
We know what is coming so far this year.
From mostly, yeah, from Nintendo.
Mostly.
Yeah, not everybody.
So before we get there, though, I've played a lot of Switch. Few things I want: wider Joy-Cons or Sean's Magic Joy-Cons.
Yes, I'm seriously. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna find my old wired Xbox controller, and I'm gonna chop it in half, and I'm gonna mock up a Pro Joy-Con.
You know what? To be honest, Mr. Sean, you could probably do that. Chop up a Xbox controller, get some new Joy-Cons. I mean, it's a horribly expensive project.
I know.
Rewire them inside.
Yep.
And you could probably make some of this great idea.
That's exactly what I'm going to do.
If I had a 3D printer, I would do my wide Joy-Con idea.
And then we're going to kickstart it.
And then Nintendo's going to sue us.
No, it's third party. You can do third party stuff.
There's no third party Joy-Cons yet.
There is a third party Pro controller.
It's wired.
Oh, well,
Remember, they're not the only ones that have that rule. I don't know if they have that rule or not, but Microsoft, there's no such thing as a third-party wireless controller.
that's true.
Unless you play, I think there is one if you paid like the crazy licensing fee to license their proprietary tech, but then your controller is so expensive that it can't. That it's more expensive.
Well, then I will
Anyway.
mock one up for my own use, and
Okay.
it will be glorious.
Yeah, because playing first-person games still garbage on
So
Joy-Cons.
some games on Joy-Con are fine. Other games, like
Yeah.
I find Super Mario Odyssey and Zelda to be uncomfortable with the Joy-Cons.
Yes.
You know, the more buttons
Yeah.
that are required to play, the less comfortable the controller gets.
Yes.
You know, and that's kind of the general rule. If you're going to use both the face buttons and the movement or the thumbstick, it's too cramped to be using them constantly all the time with the Joy-Cons. You know?
Yes. So, that's the first thing I want. The second thing I want is more Western AAA games.
Yeah.
Not so
So
many.
what you're saying is
Japanese games.
you need an Assassin's Creed on Switch. I hear ya.
Uh,
I hear ya. Yeah, I'm there with you.
Yeah. Well, at least if an Assassin's Creed game came to Switch, it would be a game that I could play that I'd never played before.
But you
because
wouldn't.
a lot of the AAA Western games that are coming are all re-releases,
I know.
which I have played.
I
So
know. You know, I'm going to be honest. So, yes, there was a Nintendo Direct Mini today. Nothing in that interested me.
nothing.
Nothing.
It was actually super depressing.
yes.
So things that I will check out. And here's the problem, right? So actually, there was one thing that kind of got me excited because I really liked it from before, which was Mario Tennis Aces. Because Mario Tennis is legitimately fun. But here's the problem, Sean. Ask me if I would spend $90 on a tennis game.
No, you wouldn't.
No one would.
Okay,
except
wait,
everyone will.
Wait, Jeff,
Yes.
would you pay $90 for a tennis game?
Hell no, beaches. No way.
Right?
No way would I spend $90 on a Mario Tennis game.
It's
I felt
stupid.
bad spending $90. I didn't quite spend 90 because I bought it used, but Mario Kart. Like, would I spend $90 on freaking Mario Kart? Like, ugh. I play Mario Kart all the time. Would I want to spend $90 on that? No, it's some stupid little kiddie racing game. I have the same issue with Mario. I'm not going to spend $90 on freaking Mario. Anyway.
Exactly.
So, and that said, like the only other thing that was even remotely interesting in that whole, whatever they called the Direct Mini, was Payday 2 for me.
No.
Or Payday.
Payday's
But-
horrible.
But I don't know anything about the game. That's it. And if I was going to play that game, would I not play it on a system that was better suited for it?
I tried playing it on PS4.
Oh, did you?
It's horrible.
It's a popular game, though.
I don't know
So
why.
it's got to have something. Yeah, but I don't know if I necessarily trust you on first-person shooters because you only started playing them a few weeks ago.
That's not. Oh, shut up. It's not. I don't know. I tried playing it. It wasn't the shooting. It was literally figuring out the game and the controls, and it was just nothing seemed to feel good playing that game. It just didn't control well.
And that's it, right? Would it feel better on the Switch with its wonky controls?
No. No.
Yeah, exactly. So other than that, when I looked at this, what I'm looking, so we have a list of all the games that were announced in that mini thing, and there's nothing. There's nothing. Like, it's, Dark Souls is coming if you like Dark Souls, and it's a remaster, and maybe if you're a Nintendo diehard, you've never owned any other console before, you've never played one of those games before, so you should play that. It's a very popular game that I don't like.
Here, I'll share our show notes. Here we go.
Okay.
There. There's what we're looking at.
So I don't care. I don't care.
No. Like
There's
honestly, even the Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
I never liked Donkey Kong Country ever.
See, I love the original.
No, I hated it. I thought it was stupid. I thought it was ugly too. I'm like, why did they use these ugly graphics? Anyway.
On the original?
Yeah, on the SNES, yeah.
The Super NES Donkey Kong Country was a beautiful game for its time.
I thought it was ugly as sin.
You're ugly as sin.
You're ugly as sin. Anyway.
No, but I don't know. There's nothing here that interests me at all. The Donkey Kong Country, I wouldn't buy it. I've tried Payday. I have no interest in playing Payday on the Switch. Not only that, it is a multiplayer game. Like, you have to be playing multiplayer for this game. There is no single player campaign in Payday.
Depends how much it is. If it's $5, I'll buy it.
It's not going to be $5. And the Odyssey update. I have Super Mario Odyssey, but this Balloon World update sounds so incredibly dumb.
It does.
Okay, so first of all, it's basically hide and seek, with balloons, but you have 30 seconds. 30 seconds. You know how much we both hate games with timers. Don't give me a 30-second timer. I will never play it.
That is the type of game mode that I think would appeal to a child, like an Oliver or a Penelope. They would love that kind of thing. Hide and seek. Do you know how often my kids play hide and seek? Like all the freaking time.
Well, hide and seek is one thing, but you have more than 30 seconds with hide and seek.
What was the other game you could play hide and seek in? Oh, it was
Skyrim.
Ubisoft. No, not Skyrim. Multiplayer hide and seek. It was more or less hide and seek. It was Watch Dogs.
What?
Watch Dogs. Multiplayer Watch Dogs had a lot of. You had to hack the other player and try to hide.
Oh,
from them.
that. Yeah.
That was fun.
That was actually kind of cool. You had to hack the other player, and the other player at the same time is trying to find you to figure out where you are. Okay, so upcoming Switch games. I don't know. I'm just going to slowly go through this list. I know Super Meat Boy is coming very, very soon. I'm not a Super Meat Boy fan.
I've got it on 2 platforms. I'm good.
Inner Space is coming out next week. I will actually have things to say about Inner Space next week.
Inner Space by Aspire.
Yeah, it's
Aspire. If you own a Mac, you know Aspire because they port everything.
Right. So that's coming. It's a flight sim kind of game. I will have things to say about it next week. Lost Sphere is an RPG coming from Square Enix. So whenever Square Enix says we've got an RPG, my ears perk up and I'm interested. There is a demo available for Lost Sphere right now. So I'm
there?
Yes. So I'm gonna I've downloaded it. I'm gonna try it. Bayonetta is coming. Again, I'm not a Bayonetta fan.
Meh.
I scroll down this list and I'm gonna be very, very honest. There is nothing of interest to me in this list of things coming for the first quarter of this year.
No.
There's...
Yeah, this is what it's like on... IGN fails to load.
Yeah, exactly, right?
That happens all the time. The 3DS suffered from a lot of the same freaking problems. Good games on the 3DS, really good non-JRPG games were few and far between on the 3DS.
Yeah.
It was a lot of weird Japanese games. And some of those JRPGs that came out Bravely Default or Bravely Second, they were epic and they were so good.
That's what I want on the Switch. I want more of that world.
Yeah. Fire Emblem, that was really good. And then, Mario Kart and all that kind of stuff. Some of those Nintendo games were pretty good too. But there's not a lot of... See, this is what I'm saying. I want EA to jump in. I want Activision to jump in.
Yes.
I want Ubisoft to, bring something a little bit more significant to the platform. Yes, you did Mario plus Rabbids. And I'm enjoying that game a lot. Whenever I sit down to play it, I have a great time.
It's one of the best games last year, on the Switch.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, I would play XCOM 2 a lot more if that came to the Switch. I never played XCOM 2, and I never finished XCOM 1. So if those came, I'd be like, ooh, perfect platform.
Yes, it is.
For that type of game,
It is, yeah. No, that's what I want to see. Yeah, I agree. I want to see more of the AAA. I want to see more of the non-typical Nintendo publishers.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's really all we've seen lately is we've seen Nintendo and typically those people who publish for Nintendo to begin with. You know,
With the exception of Bethesda, who seems to be jumping in.
that's true.
full throttle.
Yes, but they're not doing anything new. They're just
Not yet.
they're porting stuff.
You know, and that's fine. I think it's still early for the Switch, and I think that a lot of publishers are sort of waiting to see how that goes. And it's the same thing with VR, right? Like, not a lot of people
Waiting
are going
to see what? It's the fastest
the sales-
selling. It is the fastest
but
selling console in history.
But we know that as of like a week ago, which means that now somebody can go on a chart and say, well, we can extrapolate by the time it takes us to develop a game, which would be 2 years, the install base is going to be this, so we'll probably sell this many copies of our game.
Yeah.
So now it's like it could be a while before we start to see some really heavy investment. But then again, we could never see that heavy investment, just like the 3DS. I mean, the 3DS sold how many hundreds of millions of units?
That's true. But
those big publishers never jumped on. So.
But I think the Switch is proving that it is competing. There is something to say about, even though it's not Xbox One, PS4 graphics, it's still kind of competing in that similar marketplace.
That's okay.
It's doing well enough.
It's 360 graphics. You could take Unreal Engine 3 on that thing, and
4.
Unreal Engine 3.
4.
Well, I don't know if I know it could do 4, but like
it is doing
3.
4.
I know it is doing 4, but like I'm trying to say that Unreal Engine 3 games, because it has about as much power as the 360, which ran Unreal Engine 3, and a lot of the games at the end of that generation looked really, really good.
Yes.
So yeah, sure, it's not as good as my PS4 Pro, but it's still good.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
We're getting close to that plateau where it's not going to make it much of a difference,
Agreed. Well, that pretty much brings us to the hour. I mean, there's
Really?
Yeah, we're at an hour, my friend.
Oh man.
It's been
I got more to say.
Well, then say it. What do you have?
I'm going to say one last thing. I'm going to pick up of these two things that I had left. I'm going to pick one. And that is that I really hope we see a freaking price drop on all these damn accessories. Joy-Cons, $100.
I know,
Pro controller, $110. That Pro controller, I think they're pricing it as a Pro controller, like they're comparing it to like the Xbox One Pro controller, which is like, the elite of
which it's not.
It's not. It's just a friggin' wireless gamepad. It should be between $40 to $60 like every other wireless gamepad.
No, I agree.
It should not be $110. Joy-Cons are way too expensive. And for the record, the left thumbstick on my Switch, which is right over there, which is why I'm pointing there, I can feel the rubber starting to fade.
What?
I've had it like just a few months. Yeah. Well, I've got kids using it.
Are they chewing on it?
No, they're not chewing it.
Because they used to do that.
I'll go get my 360 controllers, and you can see all the thumbsticks have had their rubber removed. That was Oliver. I think somebody's been using their thumbnail to control it because it's getting like weird slippery. I don't want to spend $100 on new Joy-Cons, man.
No.
And then I need a Joy-Con charger. Because I can't just plug the Joy-Cons in, so you got to get a charging stand for the Joy-Cons.
I just keep them on my Switch and put it in the...
Yeah, but if you have two sets of Joy-Cons...
Oh, well, yes, of course. Yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm. You're right. You need the charger for them. And they're expensive. You also... We can talk about one last thing. OS update. You want to have party support and themes. I would love to see themes. Are they?
We know themes are coming.
Good.
I'm pretty sure they already announced that themes one day will come. But right now we've got black and white. What theme do you use? Black or white?
Black.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
The white looks dumb compared to the black one. Yeah.
But I would love to see themes. I mean, the 3DS launched with themes.
Yeah.
3DS had a whole slew of different themes right off the bat.
The OS on the Switch reminds me of an MVP product. Minimum viable product.
Yeah.
It does just enough to get by, and it's clean, it's snappy, it's easy to use. It is the best UI Nintendo has ever built by miles. They're so bad at building UI at Nintendo.
I still want to be able to shrink the size of the icons to fit more on the screen.
Oh, yeah? That doesn't bug me.
The icons are too big. You only see like 3 or 4 of them on the screen.
It's like they copied the PlayStation 4. That's all they did.
Yeah, but you can, I guess. Yeah, kind
It's
of.
an inverted PlayStation 4. Instead of the options being on the top, they're on the bottom.
Yeah, no, I know.
That's it. They got to bring your friends list down into the bottom, and then you're good to go.
Yeah. Anyway, that pretty much brings us to the end of episode 281. Don't forget to check out games4kids.ca. The number that is games, the number 4kids.ca. That is by our friend Sid Bolton. Games for Kid allows people to donate their old video games, and they will be matched up with kids in this community that may not otherwise be able to afford games or game consoles during the holiday seasons or during birthdays, that sort of thing. So it's a great thing. If people donate games that are not suitable for kids, they have partnered with Microplay, who will exchange that game for a more kid-friendly game. So check out games, the number 4kids.ca. I am Zion Tane, XiantaYne. Our show notes and all the links to the articles we talked about and those we didn't can be found at omgnexus.com. On Twitter, it's OMG Nexus, and the show is at the OMG Hour.
And I'm Jeff. You can follow me on Twitter at Cynics, SINNIX. If I've said anything to offend you, Nintendo fans, you can send your complaints to at Mr. Second Place. Of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And special thanks. Oh, we get to say this again. Special thanks to our gaming archaeologist, Mr. Sid Bolton. You can follow him on Twitter at Sid Bolton. That's Sid with a Y. We should put that on the screen somewhere.
We used to, actually. I don't know if I still have it here or not. No, I don't. I'll have to create a new one. Yeah, we used to have a thing that would pop up. Long time
We'll get it
ago.
again. We'll get it for you, Sid. Don't you worry, buddy. We got your back.
All right. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll be back again next week.
Good night, everybody. Cheers.
This has been an OMGNexus.com production.